fucking stars.
But welcome everyone to Hysterical Punchline, the podcast where we have clapsticks now.
That zoom out. Oh, that zoom out's mad unfortunate.
So today on the couch we have HS Tank.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We have Zara.
Yay.
We have
Only took you a couple
Mr.
tries.
Mix
It's fine.
I just clapped.
And we have your
instead.
host Water. What's up? How's it going, everyone? How's everyone's day going?
It's going all right. Doing a good old. I did a good old bout. I've been prepping for this stream. Been excited. Always a fan of having an excuse to talk at long, painful lengths about random things that just come to mind. This stick is going to be the death of me.
Yep, it is.
So, guys, I'd like to announce that I'm. So, who's who in this group? Oh, right. I am the Pokemon trainer. Zara is the wolf girl. Butter is the cyborg. Slick is the TV. Anyways, I'd like to announce that I am retiring from the Hysterical podcast for no reason other than if I hear that clapping time once more, I think I actually will need therapy.
I can find something more annoying.
No.
I'd rather you didn't.
So today,
If you thought this was a professional thing, I'm sorry to disappoint.
God no, we're not professional
Look
at all.
behind you. Does that scream professionalism?
Look.
Oh wait, is the volume of the laughter?
The clapping
or
is a little bit too
clapping?
loud, so it's just like once you do it once, it's not too loud. But if you do it, 20 different
I think
times,
it's the looping. I think it's the
Yes, the
looping audio.
looping makes it louder.
so I'm gonna get rid of mine because I know I'm the worst offender.
Mine.
Sometimes when I sleep, thank you, Reverb. See, you get it. You
I
understand.
still hear the clapping. All right, so today's topic, everyone, we had a topic for today that I wanted to bring up to the class, and it's not the giant woo monster behind Tank.
That's my friend. Leave him alone.
He is also a new member of the podcast. Welcome,
He's
Uskare.
my stand. Anyways.
Wait,
Who's scared?
I thought he was your Pokemon. I thought that was like Gen
It's a
12.
layered thing here.
Yes, this is
I'm on that Gen 13. Can you see? It's unlucky.
Is that the shiny version?
It's the shiny. But today we are gathered here on the couch to talk about the good old way that whenever we were kids, what was something that we were kind of forced into do, which was, what do you want to do with your life?
I got toast.
So, back in my day stream, kind of.
Back in my day, we're getting
Uh,
another one of those.
I don't know. Well, I guess I can go first.
Go ahead.
If there's
You're the talkative
all
one.
right, that's fair. I do tend to be that. I mean, weirdly enough, I was always like, I thought space was like the coolest thing. I was like, I want to go to space. I want to do this, that. I want to see all these different incredible sights that aren't even fathomable to our understanding as humans. And then, as I got older, I just realized more and more that space isn't that cool. It's interesting. And
It's terrifying.
Life is terrifying.
The cool side character with all the best lines. Thank you. Shout out to you, stranger. But well, the thing is that yeah, it's cool, but it's just kind of everything's going to kill you, and that's kind of it. It's the same as the people who are the ocean is really interesting. It's yes, mostly because we don't understand it, but you don't have to fully understand something to understand it's going to kill you. That's why I was okay, so why did I space so much, and I realized, oh, it's because I really like stories, and I like sci-fi and the ideas behind it. So I was like, man, I don't actually care about like the things people are talking about. I care about the idea and the stories behind it. And so I guess like it was a first thing where I was like, sometimes it really takes a moment to look at something you have a lot of passion for and then look outside it and realize not just, oh, I'm passionate about this thing. I'm not just passionate about this thing. Why am I passionate about it? I'm passionate because of the storytelling. I'm passionate because of the things you see when people describe it. And so that's why like my sort of focus in life shifted from, oh, I want to go to space, or I want to be a scientist, and more, I want to tell good stories. I want to be an author, a poet, an animator. I want to give people something inspiring that might help them find something they're passionate about. So that was, yeah, that's kind of my evolution from what do you want to be when you grow up?
I just
Fair
want to be a
enough.
guy with a rocket launcher. That's it.
I appreciate you
Don't you
keeping that to yourself.
technically have one of those? I'm sorry.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those, it's one of those things where it's like I look kind of past the ooh, this is interesting, and go, why is it interesting?
Hentai.
Why does it matter?
So it became like a deeper thing for you. So instead
Yeah,
of
exactly.
just taking things like liking things at face value, they became more intricate and you understood them and they lost their appeal.
I think it's less they lost their appeal and more that the appeal shifted to those intricacies. Like I stopped being attracted to these grandiose ideas and became more fascinated by the hows and whats and who's behind it.
Interesting.
It's like going, I really like action movies, and then from there, instead of like I just like the action movies, to going, I really like this actor in particular, and then it's I really like how this actor does this one thing, and I really like this one method of acting now. And it's kind of like how that domino effect sort of just
Method
narrows
acting.
things down.
Wait,
Because when you're a kid, you do broad strokes, you know.
who joined?
Completely forgot that I had the world on Contact Plus.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Is this the be right back moment?
No, it's fine. Fuck it, Kenny. Come on, come and join. We're in the
I'm
middle of the
here.
podcast, but fuck
I'm
you.
here for the podcast. You like my big boy?
What
You
is
like my
this?
Big boy?
I hate
you
it.
Like my big boy?
Hmm.
You don't like it? Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, well then
I
here,
literally
I'll be
I'm
human with
scared.
y'all. I'll be human. Let's go. Is this better?
Yes,
How you
very.
doing?
I'm also scared now.
Why would you be scared?
Humans scare me. I'm just a humble TV.
Okay,
He's just-
cool. I need let me use my cable internet on you later. All right. I don't know if I want to do these anchors. It scares me a little bit.
We're in a Discord call because they wanted to do Discord call instead of in game, but now now you're here. Weird situation.
Don't worry, I can easily talk to myself. You know I'm good at that.
I mean, we got
Just
Tank
saying.
here who's good at the same, so
Look at this. Are these
Hey.
new friends of yours that I've never met? You see how nice little setup you did here.
thank you. It took
Nice.
very short amount of time.
It looks like it. All right, now.
So,
what we're talking about here.
The topic. Okay, so you hit M, you unmute yourself. The little thing at the top left that should show an icon of voices. Hi, we're in Neos VR. It's a really good game. Hope you all enjoy.
So
I
now
don't have a
we're just all
statue.
talking in game. Instead.
Correct the
Don't have a
mundos, muchachos.
So I don't have a statue of this model. Will this work?
Alright. Is this,
Sure, why?
is it working?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you perfectly fine.
Should I get closer?
No, you sound
Apologies
fine.
for the difficulties, everybody.
We're bad at this. Now, excuse me while I make all your voices proper and bassy in my ears. All right, Tank,
Okay.
I
speak.
have toast.
Hello.
Zara, I heard you. Slick, I heard you. Kenny, say words.
Words.
Thank you. So,
I'm bad at this.
the thing that we were talking about today was we were talking about how in our childhood we were always given the idea of when we grow up, we need to have, you know, a drive in life. Like, what do you want to do when you grow up? You know, that type of thing.
Sleep. I mean, wait, I didn't really have one of those. I'm sorry. It was more of like plan
You
as
didn't
I
have,
go
like-
type. I
You
never
didn't
had
have
a
like
plan.
a dream job when you were a kid?
Oh,
It's not-
well,
not even
dream job,
that.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not even that. It's the idea of like when you were like in school and your like teachers would have to ask you, "Hey, what do you want to do when you grow up?" Like in high school, or well, not even high school, like in middle school, like 7th grade, my teachers were always hounding on me like, "Hey, what do you want to do when you grow up?" I'm like, "Go home, play video game. What do you
Yeah,
want to
but
do with
that
your
is-
life?"
But that is kind of like the idea of
Kind of like this.
becoming like, what was your job? What did you want to do as a kid? What was that dream job? Because everyone said like, hey, you gotta go out and you gotta be something, a doctor. Some people don't get a choice. That's why it's like, it's interesting to see like when you were really, really young and you had a very finite understanding of reality and the world around you. What did you think? What were the ideas that came across?
What the world
Like
like?
water.
I must have been a memer from day one because I told my 5th grade teacher I wanted to live in a box under a bridge when it was
I
career
don't,
day.
you know, I'm not surprised at the idea that you just day in, day out, every time we're just like, you know what? What if I was just a walking like shit post?
Yeah, from day one, literally.
Also, I forgot to introduce. Hello, everyone. This is Kenny. Go add him on twitchtv.com/wowkenny.
Hello.
You're working on waves. Let's go.
Yeah, no, right? You like that?
Wave check.
You know? You gotta put it back on. There we go.
He's working on
Don't
his
you really
waves,
trying to-
everyone.
You're really trying to
Yeah, this-
pick a fight here. I was fully aware I didn't know a thing about the world, and to be honest, so I never had an answer. Things haven't changed even now. Yeah, fair. Okay, Water. All right, Water. You posed this question. So, what did you want to do? Did you ever have like a childhood like fantasy job that you wanted?
So this is actually something that I had to actually mull over a little bit. When I was a kid, I had
Uh-huh.
no idea what I wanted to do. So I would just lie and say that I want to become a police officer because that's what my dad kind of was into. He was in private investigations and he was a gang specialist. Basically, he worked with children, talked about, you know, gang activity and, you know, tried to, you know, fix up the streets. So I grew up around that. So I was like, that seems nice. That seems cool. Maybe I want to do that without really knowing what I actually wanted to do. So for the longest of time until like, what was it? Until I think like 2 years ago, I was like, I think I want to be an actor. Just the idea of the attention of the lights and the stage and everything kind of, you know, it seems kind of fun and interesting and I kind of like it. So that's where that came from.
Mm.
That's why this podcast is here.
I mean, that's a noble answer. So Slick has just died forever a meme. Water went from maybe I want to invest into like the family business. I went from I think grandiose ideas are cool, and then I evolved into I just think stories about grandiose things are cool. Zara, do you have anything you wish to say? Do you have a thing you were into when you were a kid that kind of evolved or changed as you grew up?
I was a violinist for years. I had dreams to become a teacher. I actually fulfilled that dream to become a teacher. But like I was never forced to do anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Imagine not being forced to do something.
Yeah, my family. Well, my dad.
Stop.
If he seen that I was interested in anything, he would always nurture it. So like whenever I was a little kid, I would invent things around the house, like everyday type of shit to make things easier on my mom or my dad. I'm not gonna go into the specific details because that's not like important. But I was raised on a farm, and we had chickens, rabbits, and a garden. And so I would come up with like designs for like rabbit cages to take them to the county fair, shit like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So you always just kind of been like that sort of innovative,
Yeah.
adapt to the situations around you kind of. That's
Yeah.
that's interesting.
That's also why like every time I get into something new, I want to learn about it. Like I want to like see how it works so I can like figure it out myself. Like I'm kind of a do it myself type of person in that regard. So
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to be, to strive to be
I like
sort of
to be
self-sufficient.
self-sufficient. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is, self-sufficient. Yeah.
Self-sufficient. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I've done a lot. Like I've even went to like so my aunt, she made like scarves and shit, and we would go to every year, or at least where I live, they still have like these like little old time fairs, like where you could go in and sell things like handmade crafts like soap, scarves, stuff like that. And I have experience selling things to people like that in person.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. It's very clear that like you've had a very diverse and interesting like experience with things.
Yeah.
Also, hi Sin, good to see you, buddy.
I've also performed like multiple. I think the highest amount of people I've performed in front of was like 500. It was a violin concert. I also have sung.
Nice. I think I've done around a similar scope of people.
Mm-hmm.
Although I wasn't a solo act, I was part of a group. As I used to do hip hop.
That's nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you have had quite the amount of life experience for someone who claims they aren't a talker.
I mean, I'm not a talker.
Well,
now I'm not. So.
Well,
Damn,
you
do be
certainly
talking.
you certainly shared that story with quite a bit of finesse. So.
I mean.
You did good.
Yeah. And I think that leaves but one individual left now, doesn't it?
Huh.
Oh no, you can't look away now, friend.
Why are you
no,
looking away?
Look
You
me in my
literally-
Somebody was
cold
over there, you know?
Look
Why
me in
somebody
my
was over there?
cold desktop eyes
Yeah, there
and
you
tell me
go.
about yourself.
Here you go. Bread's over there. You can pass it on to Bread.
Bread. Hey, yo.
All right, I gotta look at these
Alright.
desktop eyes real quick.
All right.
All right,
Tell me about yourself. Let's hear it. What's
Oops,
happening?
Let me undo. All right, so about myself. Wait a second. There's not much to it, all I do is work and be on here. I also do
Okay.
streaming, yada yada. I hang out with Water, bully him a little bit, but he's a cool guy. I
All the
love
time.
him.
All the time.
Yeah. All
right. Well,
Okay.
what about when you were? I mean, what about when you were younger? Like, what were your kind of like your childhood aspirations, and what were possibly some childhood
Okay,
inspirations
yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I always drew. That was the one thing to keep me out of trouble was drawing. So I
Okay.
always thought I'd be like a tattoo artist, which I'm still, progressing onto that.
Oh, that's
Oh.
really interesting.
Yeah, so I'm like, practicing on, the whole, the homemade paste skin, yada yada, from time to time. But yeah, that's pretty much literally the only thing I was more interested in until I got into forklifting. So far, that's all I'm doing now. So
Yo,
That's
he-
really interesting.
Is Katie
whipping the
forklift
floor.
So do you think-
certified? Hold on, wait a minute.
yeah,
Hey.
forklift and OSHA. What you mean?
So-
Safety.
So, do you think you are ever going to like transfer away from the forklifting and into that sort of idea of maybe trying to go like full-time professional tattoo artists, or are you pretty confident with the whole forklifting career now?
Well, the forklifting was just like, it just came across, because I went to Job Corps. I got my free certification there. It wasn't, intentionally, but it makes good money. But for now, it's mostly like, I'm still going to work onto it. And once I get into that, stage of actually doing professionally, maybe, yeah, I'll probably just set aside with the forklift and just stay with the tattooing. But for now,
Okay.
it's mostly, until then, it's mostly,
So,
You know, hit
so
me
you're
up,
looking
I'll
to try
got
and make
you.
it like a transitional thing where
Yeah.
whichever one you kind of find the more money and passion through, you're going to kind of slowly put your focus towards that. And because aren't quite there yet, do you guys stick with mostly the forklifting until you're a little more developed in your skills? Is that fair to say?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. I mean, that's a very interesting. That's a very interesting sort of evolution of things, because like you said yourself, the forklifting thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it just, and did it like just randomly click? Were you just like, oh, I'm gonna just mess with this thing, and it just like was like, wow, this is like really fun to do and entertaining.
Yeah, it randomly clicked because, I was at the time where I was like, yo, I need to do something. I need to do something with my life, So I went to Job Corps, found out it's free, went through it, graduated from that. You choose your, your trades. So the only thing that interests me was the forklift. At first, it was electrical. Wasn't into that when I got there. Went to forklift, tried it out, loved it. Mostly because I love driving, so it was like a win-win. But yeah, that was pretty much just a random thing I wasn't expecting, really, to enjoy.
Nice soul.
Yeah. And actually, Sin in chat brings up a very interesting point, and that's the idea that like specializations and stuff, when it comes to like careers and works and stuff, they're very subjective. Because you have one person who, just because of like fears and self-confidences and just exposure to certain skill sets, would gravitate towards these jobs that when another person looks at, they think any person who works in that field is insane. Like personally for me, I look at like nurses of every kind and I just think the mentality that it requires, insane.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't do that. But then like I've had people going into the medical field who they hear and they go, wait, so you just get on stage, pretend you're not who you are, and you just remember whole books of stuff just to recite back to people? And I go, yeah. And they go, no, you're the insane one. And you don't really realize these kind of grandiose, amazing skills that you might possess until you sort of get a reality check from somebody else. Like Kenny, for example, that forklift thing sounds super cool to me, but I would never approach one because I'm like, no, I'm fully the kind of person who my brain would short circuit. I try to drift and tip it over. Like it would just go poorly if I did it. But but it works for
believe
you.
it or I was about to say, believe it or not, it's really almost impossible to tip it over.
You say almost, but you
No,
haven't
what I'm
known me
saying-
for all that
no,
long.
Well, I'm saying if you over here just literally doing drifts on a rock, yeah, maybe. I'm
I'm-
That's my problem.
I'm just trying to imagine
But-
him over here drifting a forklift
dude,
in a
dude.
Pokemon hat and shirt.
In the warehouse, I'm telling you, in the warehouse, first time going, I'm over here drifting it in the warehouse.
Hey man, you
My
know
God.
what it
top
works
speed.
for.
I'm talking
What
about
it works
like,
for.
but it's fun,
Yeah. it's this really interesting idea of like what kind of it's an interesting sort of evolution of the topic. Thank you, Sid. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But it's just interesting, the idea that like skill sets and the evolution of abilities are very subjective, because it comes from at least some level of belief and then some level of affinity towards things. Like, technically, any person could draw and animate, but it comes from a willingness to develop that skill and then affinity for the skill.
Yeah, because anybody can do anything. Like, it's not people say they can't draw, they can't. No, it's that's a mindset. You can draw, you just gotta. It's progress. Like, I wouldn't even on NES. So on here, I didn't know anything about Unity. Didn't think I would ever even remember or have the capability of knowing Unity, Blender, yada yada. Being here taught me all that. So, and I, it's just progress.
And I think that's an interesting thing, is that like there are weird ways to learn skills. Like, there's a lot of these really effective non-traditional means that's more than just sit in a classroom, open up the textbook to page and then read 90 different chapters on the theory behind something.
And then retain none of that.
If we're talking about that, I basically taught myself how to read because I'm dyslexic and not a lot of...
represent.
My teachers, they would sit me down, they would like put me on this bench and they would read to me, right? And they would be like, hey, can you read this back to me? And I wouldn't be able to do it. For some reason, I just would never ever like worked for me. So whenever I finally got I would say I got my sister's, she was going to school at the time, she got a laptop, and I started communicating with people online through RuneScape and other means of like games and stuff, and I basically taught myself how to read, just because I wanted to communicate with people. And like, I want to say is that I have a like reading attention disorder, I guess. Like I can't like remember a lot from like just outright reading. So I had to teach myself, how to retain information and keep it. And I don't know, it's just funny that you said that, because like I didn't learn the traditional way. I learned how I learned. So
hard work and yeah, I'm just looking at the chat and seeing hard work and natural talent are two sides of a coin known as the coin of personal growth. That is a very insightful thing to say. Also, stranger, I totally feel that. That's me in every language class ever. I don't know. It is just very weird when you look at so many people's like, especially in like the modern day and like these sort of. I'm gonna sound like a boomer here, but I'm probably the youngest here. But like when you look at like younger generations of people, how vital video games have become for a person's development of the basic skills.
Boomer.
Because they incentivize so much, and it's it's things like
beat me at games.
But it's these super interesting ideas of like, oh, there's this and there's that, and I mean, Zara just said like they developed reading skills through games. I developed weirdly enough certain sorts of business sense and all these other things through games because of things like in-game markets and guilds, and you learn a lot of, there are some social skills involved. There's lots of these really, really interesting games. You can't say in an interview with a potential employer that your hobby is playing video. But see, the thing is that's actually like changing up, because there are like communities and people looking for these skills that are developed through media. That's why there are media advisor jobs now, when before it was just like, that's an advertising thing. But, and also, I'm gonna tell you this right now, you can spin playing video games and like doing that kind of stuff real easily into life skill work. The amount of times I put on my resume, skillfully guided whole group of individuals through rigorous mental complications when I was basically just shot calling for a group of my friends playing a video game. But the thing is, those skills do translate. How was T? You don't bring this up here. Don't do this to me. It's happening eventually. It's not now. But yeah, it's just, I think it's really cool the fact that like our world is evolving to the point where we're learning things in ways that I don't think anybody 50, 60, 70 years back would imagine.
Yeah.
Let's look at the forward of that. What's it going to be like in the future, bro? We think we're advancing now, and like our technology is integral to development. What's it going to look like in another 20 or 40 years?
And that's what I'm so excited about. I can't wait till I'm a boomer and everything amazes me. Like, it's gonna be so cool to just like be like just wake up, hear from like distant family members, be like, hello, grandpa, did you hear about Jimmy? He just won the zip up. I'm like, huh? Like, that's exactly.
I feel like you would be the boomer to be scared by new technology, though.
What? Hey, just because I'm scared of my own shadow some days when I wake up does not mean I'm afraid of the future. All right, it just means I'm high strung.
I feel like I would approach it like my mom, which be fucking cool with it, because my mom was the one that got me into video games. Yeah, so
I feel like I would be I definitely feel like I would be the type of boomer who would try really hard to understand and be like, yes, the thing, yes, back in, I remember that's kind of like the, no grandpa, you just no, stop. You know,
True.
I gotta. This is a very interesting question now. Water, what kind of boomer would you be?
Yeah. What kind of yeah? Screw star signs. What boomer are you?
Yeah, what kind of boomer are you?
This is literally like the question that we had earlier. The freaking what emotion are you?
Yeah. What am? Yeah,
Dorselessness.
But it's like when you
boomer are
grow.
you?
But like, what kind of old person do you want to be when, you know, when the whole world has shifted over the course of your life and you don't understand things? Tank, you're already. Hey, what? That's rude. Just because you write them, you gotta say it so loud. But yeah,
You
what
really
kind,
got
what kind
called
of,
out.
when you get old and gray and decrepit, how do you think you're gonna interact with like the insane evolved world that we're gonna be in?
I'm very like open to new and like emerging technologies, except if it involves NFTs. But if you straight up want to buy our figurines, go ahead. Hysterical Punchline merch. We don't have a website. Don't look that up. That's a lie. That was a joke. But
Instead, look at meatspin.com.
something www.bamash.com.
Baba Ganoush, yeah. But
Baba
I
Ganoush.
basically think that whenever like new or emerging technology comes out, I'll be the guy who's like, this seems really interesting. I want to know how it works. I've always been like fascinated by the idea of how something works. Like phones. How do you press on screen and it do thing? Like how does
Be
it
real
know?
with
Like
me. Were you the kid? Were you that one kid who brought like an RC car and a screwdriver to school, and like at recess you just ripped things apart for fun?
no, I was the
Yeah,
kid
I
who
was.
Okay.
I'll tell you who I was. I was the kid who won the thing for the book fair, but still stole stuff anyway.
Bro, how dare you? homie's been entering those draws for. There are homies out there who enter those draws for their whole lives. They don't win nothing.
Oh, you mean
and they
you
still-
think it was a draw? No, what I did was we were in a competition. This is a quick side tangent, but basically we were in a competition. The competition was you had to eat like pieces of cheese, Like they give you the whole square
Homie, you
craft
would have
single.
lost that if I was there.
Bro,
Oh.
what we had to do was we had to eat it and to make it look like the state of Missouri. I ate it to make it look like the best Missouri. Like it was a
Squid Games?
1-to-1 company. Basically.
That's actually Squid Games.
Yeah.
That's
Squid
cheese
Games
Squid
before it was
Games.
cool,
That's-
I
bro.
did it. I would have
Water
won Squid
saw that
Game.
one episode. He was just like, "Bro,
But this
I did
was
this already. This is easy."
I
Why
did
you
this in
stressing, gamer?
I did this in elementary school, no less, before Squid Game even existed. So technically my school created Squid Game. What's good?
That's
You need royalties.
You need royalties.
I need royalties because I won.
Mm.
But basically, I won like a $20 gift card to the book fair, so I could have bought anything.
You could have got the cool erasers.
Yeah, I did. I got a cool eraser. I got the Lego Star Wars book, which came with Lego,
Nice.
which came with a
Yo.
Lego figurine. I think it was Jedi
I got
Bob.
one.
If
I
any
got,
of you
like-
know who Jedi Bob is. But after that, I spent all my money. So there was one last thing that I wanted from the book fair, a game, because for some reason at this book fair they sold PC games.
Let's go.
Take out like a search them because you. That
So-
is crazy though.
Technically, this is also the first game that I've ever gotten for PC, which was Trackmania Sunrise.
Trackmania. That's great. Oh, so you've been on that racing game. Can you sit? Yes, I am on desktop right now. Also, this is not VR chat. This is Neos VR.
It built different.
They're slightly different, but yeah. I mean, hey, maybe on another episode, we'd love to have you on, Sin. I know for a fact that you have some very interesting stories, and having another person who can talk
Give me your hair.
ad nauseum
Give me your
about
hair.
fighting games
Give me
and
your hair.
the world of
Don't worry
fighting
about
games is always welcome on this couch. All right,
Man, all you had to do was ask.
it's all good.
I did. I was saying, give me your hair.
Yo, Slick, what kind
Yeah,
of
what's
boomer
up?
would you be?
It's like you-
What's going on here?
I need to know, what kind of boomer would you be?
So my family has a history of not embracing technology. Even the people my age, my generation of my family,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't embrace technology. I'm very much the odd one out.
I feel
So
that.
so I've always been hopeful that I would embrace any sort of technology, and I never want to be out of the loop as everyone else is.
Okay. So you and Water kind of got like a similar mentality when it comes to that kind of stuff, where it's like you want to keep with the times as best you can.
my parents were
Yeah.
okay with. The what?
Besides the stealing part.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
no, I mean, I didn't steal from the book fair. That's just straight up devious.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
hey,
That's
They
worse
were-
than just
They
a
were
store.
costing
That's-
$20. That was a rich
Yeah,
man's
no.
game back then.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
stole from
no,
Publix
the
before.
book-
That's about
the
it.
book fair was where you learned which
The
one of your
book
friends
fair
came
is
from the good
sacred.
households.
Yeah.
He just wanted some books.
I did destroy half the media center's PCs though with a USB killer.
Oh
the fuck?
my god.
You probably installed the meme virus on some computers, didn't you?
No, in high school, we upgraded or we downgraded, I should say, from
That's Water saying.
from individual PCs inside of our computer labs to like the server based. So it was one big server that operated virtual machines to remote desktops. I ran a code that kept opening itself on my virtual machine and shut it down. So on my virtual machine it wasn't running, but on the server it was still running. So it was opening and opening over and over again. 2 days later they closed down all the stuff to do maintenance on the server.
Jesus
So
Christ.
you,
Because
so
it-
you
because it was
opened an
literally
Ouroboros
inoperable.
program and crashed the server.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's actually just too friggin' funny.
All because I didn't want to do an English project.
Also,
That's-
real quick, we're gonna do this to tell people a little bit about Neos. Zara, can you do me a favor?
What?
Pick me up.
Huh?
The
How do I
stomach
fucking-
area. Just grab me.
grab his chest.
Grab his dick into his
You know
neck.
what? Kenny, you do it.
Suplex.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
yo,
can I
what?
eat you too?
Yes,
Can I
sure,
eat
why
you?
not?
Yes.
Throw me.
Yes. Whoa.
Yes. Yes. Let's go.
Help.
Wait, do I got a good view? Do they got a good? Yep, we're doing
They,
it.
they have a pretty okay view.
Oh,
sure they get a good
okay.
view.
They've
Hold on.
No
we've
view.
they've
Zero
stolen
view.
they've stolen the host.
Yeah.
I've been
Make sure-
stolen. Help.
Yes.
Hold on, let me get a good
Make
view,
sure-
goddamn.
Yeah, hurry up. Make sure the chat has a good view of you getting tossed, alright?
Oh my
Alright.
god.
We're-
Shut
so-
up.
Hold on, the
clip
camera's
this
camera's
after.
shifting. The camera's
Yes.
shifting.
Yes.
There, the
Somebody
camera's
clip
shifted.
This after.
Why does
Is it good?
why does
not
Water
clip
look like
back
the
there.
stiffest body
Yo,
pillow ever? Like,
I will clip this, alright?
You know why? You
Let's
know why
spank
he's a
him.
stiff body pillow.
shut up!
Here you go,
No
do it.
slick.
There you go, alright.
Yeet.
Bye.
Airplane.
Bar, wherever you are.
So yeah, I wanted to get that out the way. This is Neos VR. This ain't VR chat. This is Daddy's video.
Stop.
Ew.
Oh
Stop.
my God.
Stop. I will pull out the button.
First of all,
So
did I
guys,
hit the
thank you for
2
coming to
years?
the
Don't do
Hysterics
that.
podcast. I know we've only been live for 45 minutes, but due to recent controversies, we will be shutting down. God.
You just got the blue screen right across the freaking
Jesus
camera.
Christ. Go to commercial. Go to commercial.
Okay. Now to
Since I'm outta
lead
here.
this now to leave that conversation as fast as possible. Water, why?
Why would you do that?
I'm the only
Our
one
viewers'
standing up. They pushed me
ears.
back a little bit.
Thank you for the follow, Star.
I mean, I can stand up too. We can be
anyways.
stanced up. Jeez, why are you so tall?
Hey, Kenny,
Oh,
to help us,
Because my
Back
one
on
of
track.
my is huge,
What
so I'm so
kind of-
used to it.
gotcha.
what kind of boomer would you be so we can move past that previous conversation as fast as possible?
I don't think I'll be much of a boomer. I mean, be honest, growing up, I always was like up to date with technology. So like at age 5, I was already on the computer. I was already playing games, working my way around the computer at age 5. So I mean, I never had issues with certain technologies, even new ones. I pretty much broke it until I found out how to do it. So, you know, just like I do on Neos, I break stuff until I find out how to do it. You know, same thing.
Okay.
True.
So it sounds like you would all be a relatively like with the times old person, and then there'd be me who really thinks he's with the times.
And then, yeah. And
I
kinda
remember
boomer
back when
now.
Pokemon was only 150 pocket monsters, and nobody wanted
Hey, how do you
nobody
know
wanted
this?
any more than that.
I remember when Pokemon stayed
How
on
do
the
you
ground.
know this?
I remember when Pokemon didn't
This is
sound like
the
that.
only one.
I
Here we
also-
go.
I used to host
Hey.
Pokemon tournaments for
We're gonna
people.
that's cool.
online. Yeah,
That's super
come on
cool.
now, come on
I
now.
would-
He's
I
He's
would
the
give
trainer.
away like
And
he's the
different shiny
trainer.
Pokemon.
You can't even
to
pet
people.
him.
It
That's
was
so
great. I had
mean.
to get,
That's awesome.
yeah, but it's on his
yeah, I
lap.
had
like he's in
like
a
probably
wheelchair.
50 contestants.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. One thing I want to do. One thing I want to do is
I got you. Then.
speaking
Bless
on
you.
speaking on
I got him. Don't
tournaments.
worry, I got him.
One thing I want
Bless
to do
you, Zee.
is
Wait,
this game
does that
called
show you how much
there's
your
this game
batteries
called
are?
Not for Oculus devices though.
Footsies.
Oh,
I don't know if
for
anyone's
us.
ever heard of that.
Not for us.
All right, let the Pokemon trainer with his Eevee and his Pikachu on his head talk.
That's how we.
Look, I'm fan service the character smile. No, but speaking on like tournaments, there's this one game. It's like super cheap. It's called Footsies, and it is a literal 3-button fighting game.
Yeah, is that
Forward, back,
something
and
in real
attack.
life? That's a little.
Sounds like
And
real life.
Yeah.
It really is because you get one good hit to the skull and gone.
When are we gonna play footsies, Tank?
Man.
No, that's what I'm about to say. I want to host like a whole full-blown tournament, and I want to be a part of it, obviously.
Hysterical
But,
Punchline
like-
doing a tournament. We're going to be playing Footsie.
Wait, okay, I didn't. You know, if the podcast sponsors the tournament, awesome. But my big thing is I'm just
I'll
like,
buy full body just to play that.
You don't
Oh,
gotta.
it's a video game. Oh, I
it's a
thought it was
video
like a
game. No,
VR game. Oh,
it's
my
not
bad.
like a VR game. No.
Get out.
He's like, I'm trying to fucking pull up.
I mean, you
I'll
can
sponsor
buy
it.
somebody to play the other version of Footsies.
I thought it was like
I'll
real life,
sponsor your
huh?
turning. That's nice.
You know, shout out to you, Sin. But yeah, no, I want to see if I can get like a good number of people. Maybe, yeah, I feel that way too real, Sin. But I want to get maybe 20 people together, and I want to just run a tournament. Just because I think that would be so much fun. Because the idea of running events has always been like a thing I've never really gotten to do a lot of, but I have like a history of really liking it because a lot of times for a couple of my IRL friends, they would know I used to invite a bunch of my friends who I thought were like really good at video games, and I would tell them, so this isn't just a birthday party. No, this is a fighting game tournament, and whoever wins gets prizes, and the rest of you get memed on.
You die.
No,
That is
whoever
all.
wins gets the birthday presents.
Oh,
Yeah, participation.
I thought
yeah.
about that one
And
day.
you
I
rigged
thought
it
about
to
that one
where
day.
you only won.
Dude,
No, I wasn't.
Can I get a
I didn't always
participation
win.
award?
I had the the participation award was a bag of chips called Ding Dongs, and everyone and for the rest of the
Yes.
party, for the
What?
rest of they are so good.
Ding
But
Dongs
for the
are
rest of the
amazing.
party,
them.
What the
I
fuck?
never had
I've
them, so I
never
can't say
seen the. I've never even heard
but
of
for the
those.
rest of the party, whoever got last in the tournament was just referred to as Ding Dong, and that was the one. That was the
That's
one.
hot.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's really cute. That's
Oh,
not
the
cute.
chewing
I'm
noises.
confused.
Thanks for the
No.
follow, Pumpkin Boy.
No.
Wait, why are there butterflies? Why are you eating butterflies?
It's a so okay.
Hey.
I'm hungry.
I don't know
Hello.
if you, can I tell you about
Go ahead.
Hey guys, can I tell you about my butterfly eating
Okay.
addiction?
Thanks.
Okay, oh my god. Okay, so this we have a group on here called Vibes, right? They make a lot of chill worlds.
Okay.
We'll show
the
one on
leader-
stream another
the
time.
leader- yes, the leader is has a girlfriend named Princess on here, and she made these butterflies that are on Blender and everything. We made them move, yada yada. We made them attracted to your finger, so they'll fly on your finger. Well, we made a joke, so we made it to where like, what if we eat, her butterflies? She hates that. She hates this. She really does.
I wonder
It's-
why.
Yeah, I wonder
What it
why.
is, it's literally her butterflies. We just added it to this so you can eat the chicken, So we just added to that, replaced the chicken with butterflies, her butterflies, and started eating it. So
That's incredibly
Yeah.
cursed.
That's
so she,
awesome.
so she
Yo,
really,
man, this
so,
new
yeah,
Animal Crossing update is wild.
I know,
Bro,
right? Just-
wild.
Started eating the villagers.
Exactly, just get full of butterflies. You got
I caught
butterflies
a
in your
mother.
stomach. You got butterflies in your stomach, so it's perfect.
Dang.
Wait, can I have one? Like a,
Oh,
a blue one.
oh,
I want a
oh.
blue one. Can I?
I'm sorry, they're all one color. I'm sorry, we weren't that cool enough. It's just for show.
They give me the box.
Give me
Here,
Give me the box.
Ashley, you can do this, Ashley. Now that you said that, put your head in there real quick. Just put your head in there.
No,
Look
no.
at that. Look at that.
You
You're
eating it.
technically. You're eating the blue one.
There you
What just
go.
happened?
Okay, so just
Remember when
like
this was a podcast?
just like a chicken bucket, you can just
Welcome to Hysterical Punchline.
just stuff your face in.
It's flying.
It's a firefly. It's a firefly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why is there a fire? Kenny, did you do this one?
No,
No,
I
I did
spawned
not.
that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I'm-
that thing.
Oh, this is
It-
gonna like bug me.
Hold on.
It follows random people.
Yeah,
I
I like it a
caught it.
lot.
Good job.
Can I
They're
have
very
it?
cool.
You just said it'll
Annihilated.
bug. You just
Just
said it'll bug you.
Yeah, 'cause
Destroyed.
it's a bug.
destroy
You
insect.
gotta catch it. You want another butterfly? I got
Oh,
you.
not this.
I got you, Water. There you
I
go.
got it.
I mean, I can just do this.
That's not the same as eating butterflies, you know. Just saying.
I'm just,
What is happening, bro?
All right,
This is
back to the
Video
subject,
games
back to the
it gets
subject.
derailed fast.
Yes, back to the subject.
welcome to our podcast. We get derailed to anything. Also, Sunny says hi because they can't talk in chat.
Also, the
Oh.
Zuck is on our podcast
No,
now.
no, we're not adding Mark Zuckerberg. You're not on our podcast. You can't come on. Fuck you.
How
Oh,
long is
so
it going to be
sweet.
before
Da-da-da.
we just start before it just gets even more derailed? That's the question we have to ask ourselves, and the answer is milliseconds at best.
Who?
Okay.
Mustafa?
Wunderbar.
I am curious though. Slick, you said when are we playing footies? Homie, when are we playing like any kind of fighting game? Because
Exactly.
Whenever you hit me up, you don't talk to me. You don't like me.
I don't talk to anybody. To be fair,
You don't like
Your ass
it's
don't
not
like
a
me. What do
thing
you
of.
think?
It's not a thing of I or I do or don't like anybody. It's the fact that I just really just need to get better at talking to people.
I gotta get going, y'all.
All right,
Alright.
literally.
I gotta go pick up my
Special
check.
thanks to our unplanned guest, Wow Kenny. Go follow him on Twitch at what's your links? Throw them out.
My
Throw it in
links.
chat. Throw it in chat. Actually,
Oh,
you talked
God.
in chat, so yeah.
yes.
Wow, Kenny, go click on
Wow,
his name.
Kenny in
Follow him.
Chat.
All I got is Twitch. I don't know what.
Plug your Twitter. Everyone who has a Twitch has a Twitter.
That's false.
Yeah, that's super false. I got a Twitter. I just don't remember what it's called.
I got a Twitter. I forgot the password and the
It's
username.
in my. It's in
and
my
the
starting.
password's username.
It's,
and the
it's in my
username
starting
password.
soon scene, but you know I gotta go look at my starting soon again.
All right. But yeah, thank you for coming on, lad. We appreciate you.
No problem. Water.
We'll
Hit me
catch
up.
you on the we'll catch you on the flip again.
You.
Goodbye.
Yoop.
But yeah, no, I need to hit you up to play. See, I'm wondering, Slick, would you be interested in learning 4-button anime fighters? Or are you like a exclusively 6-button kind of guy?
That's crazy. I've never played a fighting game in my life, so
That's a huge lie. Chair duels, bro. That's technically fighting games.
I've only ever played Skullgirls and Street Fighter V and
Okay,
Mortal
but that-
Kombat.
But that doesn't answer the question. Would you be interested in trying?
What's a 4-button anime game?
So instead of like 3 different types of punches and kicks, you just have light, medium, heavy, and then like a special 4th button.
So no
In most
punches or
games.
kicks?
They all just it just boils down to you have your lights, your mediums, and your heavies, and then
What's
like
an
different-
example of this kind of game?
Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear's technically 5
Oh, I've
buttons.
been wanting to play Guilty Gear.
Yeah, Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, Melty Blood, Persona, Under Night In-Birth,
It's so expensive though.
them fighting.
Everything's
Well, that's why you
expensive.
don't go for. Well, the thing is that's why you don't usually go for the newer games, because a lot of times if you want to get into a series, if you play sometimes the newest game is the best one, but sometimes the cheaper older game are just as good, if not sometimes better for some people. Like if you want to learn and it also depends on what you're looking for. Like if you want fast, that's different. I don't know. I know I talk way too much about fighting games.
Yeah, dude, I don't even play video games.
What are games?
But I mean, like, yeah, I think fighting games are really interesting, just from a video game perspective, because it's one of the few games where
oh
when
no.
you really peel back everything, you can't make excuses.
Hmm.
What was that? Oh no, for Water.
Because I realized you were gonna get instantly into a rant, and it would be a long talk about fighting games. When we are like, you understand that the podcast is supposed to be over in like 2 minutes, right? We should be
Oh, I
wrapping
thought
up.
it was a 2-hour thing. Okay, my
no,
bad.
it's just an hour.
Oh, I was okay. See, that's where my misunderstanding was.
Speaking of which, it's been
We'll
a
save fighting
very.
game talk. We'll save the fighting game talk for next week then.
He
or
will
whenever
host
this one
his.
is.
He will host his own episode, and that entire episode. I'm not even
Don't
joking.
tempt me.
Sure,
Don't
why
tempt me.
Just
bet.
him. No
Saturday.
guests.
Oh wait, not Saturday. Next Thursday, come to Tank's hosted podcast where he will talk about only fighting games.
Well,
Nothing
welcome
else.
to Tank's Takeover this week, fighting games.